Hey everyone, this is Mark Stevenson from Coldesi. We just finished recording our podcast, episode number 14 from CASPodcast.com. That's Custom Apparel Startups podcast.com. We just finished episode 14, and it's all about not wasting your money on marketing if you're not going to follow up with the customers, the emails, the phone calls that call in, if you're not going to keep track of your quotes and proposals, and if you're not going to pay attention to the annual kind of job flow and job opportunities that your customer base provides. And the point behind the entire podcast was to get all of you to sign up and use some kind of a contact management software, some kind of a CRM. Now, during the podcast, we mentioned, among others, Zoho CRM, which we use here at Coldesi. We also mentioned Untitled, and I picked this one to show you guys. I'm just going to run through it quickly so you know what we're talking about when we talked about contact and customer management. Now, first of all, Untitled is free up to 2 users. So this isn't an endorsement of Untitled, by the way, because again, we use Zoho CRM, I've used Act, I've used Salesforce.com, I've used a bunch of different ones. This is just a simple one, and it's easy, and as you can see from the price plans, it's free up to 2 users, which is terrific. So I've already had kind of an old account here that I haven't used in a little while. I'm just going to show you what you're going to do. And the first thing is you can see I've got a home screen, and this can be just about whatever you want. It can have different activities or contacts or organizations, whatever you would like to have display on your home screen. A lot of people just want their tasks displayed. But here's kind of a set of 2 lists. You can add tasks to Google Calendar. You can add a new task here that might say, do my books, assigned to me. Pick a category. This is a to-do. The due date is on the 31st. And you can have a start and an end date and set a priority. It's all a part of being organized, and you can even have a little description down there. So this is especially great if you're working with somebody else and you're kind of like running the business together, you're exchanging to-do lists, there's a bunch of stuff for you both to do, and you can't keep it organized. Well, with both of you using a program like Untitled, you're sharing the same to-do list, you're sharing the same kind of activities, everybody knows what they're supposed to do. But the point of all this is to show you how you're going to manage contacts just very briefly. So I'm going to use the scenario of someone calls in for as a lead. They call in and say, hey, my name's Bob, I work for Bob's Electric Company, and I'm looking for a quote on doing 20 t-shirts. So okay, that's terrific. Let me take your information, and that's Bob. What's your last name? Bob Smith, and you are the owner, Bob's Electric Company. All right, terrific. Can I get your email address, Bob? So you're going to add their email address, bob@bob.com, and dates to remember. So what do I want to remember about this? It can be the date that you created the contact is already recorded, but I can put maybe when the job is due, when you have to quote it, whatever you'd like to. And additional information here, this is where you're going to put notes on the call. You say, Bob got my card at a show and needs 24 shirts by November 10th. Now, one of the best things about this is now that I'm done here with just that simple note, imagine, as we described in the podcast, that you talk to Bob on the phone and you're going to get him a quote, and then you go to lunch. So Bob calls into the office while you're gone, and your partner picks up. He doesn't know Bob, he's never heard of him, you guys haven't talked, and you've got your notes with them. He can go, okay, Bob, what's your last name? Smith. Okay, let me just go ahead and search for Bob Smith up here in the search bar, and his information will show up. Now, you can also do all kinds of custom fields here. So you could have the market he's in. So he's an electrical company. You could have, he's interested in embroidery or DTG or screen printing or vinyl. Or you could have a vertical market, like he's one of my school customers, or he's a promotions customer. You can divide that up however you want to. And you can say that everyone can see it, or just you. And now I'm going to save. Now what you've done fundamentally is created your first contact. Now you can find his Facebook profile if you want to, but you can also track the emails. You can send him an email from here. You can write notes about the job and conversations that you've had. If he sends you a graphics file, a logo, you can attach it here and add files, so it's all mixed in according to Bob Smith from Bob's Electric. But the real power here is not only that you get to keep track of quotes and your customers, but also when you're supposed to get back to them. So now, right from his record, I can add a task, and I can say, create quote. It's assigned to me or the other person. What's the category? It is a to-do. I'm going to do that by tomorrow. I'm going to add a reminder tomorrow at 8 a.m. If this was an annual job, I might go add repeat every year. And now, if this guy does these t-shirts every year, you've just programmed in a reminder for you to follow up every year. Now, of course, it's related to different opportunities. And if you do an official quote, you can put it under opportunities, you can put it under project. But I'm just going to save this, and it's going to come up as a task. So now, after I've got all of my tasks and my contacts, and I really start using this, when I come in the morning, I go up to this button here that says calendar, and there's my create quote. And I can look at today, I can look at by week, and I can start to see my marketing efforts pay back. And here is the rule. Treat every customer like they're gold. Take down all of their information, put every stick of information into a contact management software of your choice. Never lose a quote, never go looking for an email in your inbox, never forget to call somebody back. There's no excuse not to use CRM. It's free, it's easy, and you can do it, and I highly recommend it. I hope you've enjoyed this quick little video, and listen to episode 14 of the CASPodcast on wasting your money on marketing. Basically, if you're not going to take control of your follow-up.